What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome to the MKO Pugilism Boxing channel, where we talk all things boxing. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. You can get notified straight away as soon as we drop any new content on this channel. So it's been a while for us since we last dropped a video, and yeah, this one's just about Teofimo Lopez, and I've been reading a bit about him, and the latest news on him is that he and his team are possibly going to vacate the IBF title, to which George Kambosos is mandatory to, and it was all due to go down on Triller. Triller made a lot of noise. They bid $6 million for the fight, which was massive bid. You compare that, I think Top Rank were offering a couple of million or something like that. Eddie Hearn outbid Top Rank. I think he was offering about 3 million or somewhere in that ballpark. And Triller just outbid everybody by bidding that 6 million. So yeah, it was a fight where they were both going to earn a career high paydays and everything. And Lopez was going around sort of saying he's a star. This fight is going to be massive. They've got performers from superstars from the world of R&B or pop music or whatever. They were going to have musical performances, and it was going to be a big show. It was going to be a big entertainment show according to the advertisements. But as I've got here in the article, Bad Left Hook, they listed how many times it had been rescheduled, and it's one of them where, as the article said there, it seems that nothing's really gone right. I mean, originally it was going to be June 5th, then June 19th, so you already had two rescheduled a couple of times within a month. And then Lopez, unfortunately, he got COVID-19, that's what they say, and it was moved to August 14th, which was another date, so it would have been next month, really. And then apparently it was changed to September 11th, and then now finally, the 5th or 6th or whatever time, it's the latest thing is about they wanted to change it to October, some point in October, and the idea was to put it in Australia. And we come to today's thing where Team Lopez has been very clear about it. They've said no, we're not going to Australia. I think his manager said that, look, we would rather vacate the title than go to Australia for this fight. And an interesting thing on that is that originally I think Australia was where it was going to go with I think it was with Bob Arum doing the promotion for the fight and whatever. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the original date and everything was meant to be actually in Australia. And at that point, after Lopez had not long won his title off Lomachenko, I think he was pretty keen to do it. He didn't seem to have a problem then. But now, yeah, for some reason they seem to have an issue with going over to Australia. And to me, I always find this type of attitude disturbing coming from fighters, because I think this is one of those situations where I've heard it from various sources that at the end of the day, in America, this type of fight is not a big enough spectacle to really justify that massive bid by Triller of $6 million. So in other words, they wouldn't, most probably, if this fight was held in America, they wouldn't get their $6 million back, because the fight itself is not a big enough spectacle. It's not a big enough fight to sort of generate that much money. I suppose they'd be very limited on ticket sales because of all the coronavirus restrictions and all that sort of stuff. You'd be very restricted, and I guess my assumption, at least, along with many others, news outlets and stuff, and other YouTubers as well, have been saying, look, this fight is not going to bring Triller back that money, so financially it's going to be an issue. And from what I understand, that's the sort of idea behind bringing it to Australia, because in Australia, I think Kambosos is quite big, and and basically they'd be able to sell a lot more tickets in Australia. They'd be able to do probably more on the live gate over there in Australia, and they'd stand a much better chance of getting their money back, because they'd have fans in stadiums and whatnot. So money wise, they, for Triller at least, the one who won the bid and everything, for their purposes of getting their money back, making actual profit off of this show, Australia would probably be the better bet for them, because you're going to get ticket sales. It would generate more money over there. It would be a bigger fight over there in Australia than it is over in America, because there, you could get the guys in, you get more fans in. I suppose Kambosos has got his fan base over there and whatnot, so you stand a better chance money wise over there. And I think if you're in Lopez's shoes as a champion, I mean, at the end of the day, look, you've signed a contract with Triller. You've made an agreement to have this particular fight, this IBF mandatory, with them. So I'd say, why not go ahead with it? I mean, if it's about the restrictions where you have to do a quarantine for 10 days or whatever it is, all you got to do, go over there early, go over there maybe a month before you've got a fight, acclimatize yourself, get used to it, get used to the weather or whatever it is that you're worried about. You do your couple of weeks quarantine or whatever, you're there, you're early, you could have your training camp out there or whatever, or have the second half, the latter half of your training camp out there, and you prepare yourself and you fight. I mean, you're still going to make a fortune, you're going to make career high payday regardless. So for me personally, I don't see why they've got a problem with going over there. I think if you're you look back in the days at the greats, Ali, Frazier, Ford, look at these heavyweights, and a lot of guys, they traveled, Brits traveled to America, Americans traveled over here, I don't, me personally, I don't see what the issue is. A lot of great champions in times past have traveled, and the idea is you're a world champion, you're champion of the world, so you should be able to go in any country in the world, any territory in the world, and perform and fight and do well and win. And I think if you're confident in winning the fight, and you're going to get a guaranteed massive purse and everything out of it, I genuinely do not see what the issue is, why he can't just fight the man. I mean, he seemed to have the ambition, of undisputed and everything. He went after the top man with the belts in, Lomachenko and that. He went after Comey before him. He seemed to be a very ambitious young fighter, did Lopez. But now, trying to get out of a mandatory defense, to me is kind of a strange thing coming from him, because he seemed at least, prior to the Lomachenko fight, going into that, seemed to be a young man with that ambition that he wants to clear up the division and get all the belts. But now it's it looks like we're looking at a completely different type of individual. I think, it's one of the sad things about this kind of generation in boxing, that you get certain parts of the world where they'll say, the English are rubbish, or I don't want to go anywhere. Americans will say, I don't want to go anywhere that's not America. I'm not traveling here, not traveling there. You got to come to me, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, it's also a business. And if it's going to make more money somewhere else, then you go somewhere else and you fight. You know what I mean? Even big draws like, Anthony Joshua and that, he went to Saudi Arabia to fight, went to America when it made sense to fight. You got to travel sometimes, and and if you're confident in your skills, you believe in yourself, traveling to someone else's backyard shouldn't be a problem, really. If you're confident of beating the man, then it's not a problem. And I hope it's not the case. I hope he doesn't just vacate and whatnot, because I think if he does vacate and sort of try and slip out of this fight, then he's going to have probably a legal battle on his hands, because he has signed a contract to work with Triller and to fight this fight, to fight George Kambosos. So if he slips out of that and he says, you know what, I don't want to fight, so I'm going to drop the belt. I, for one, don't believe, I don't know all the legalese and legal jargon, but I think it's not going to be easy for him to get away with this, because at the end of the day, you did sign an agreement for a certain amount of money for a certain fight. So for you to just think you can just drop the belt and then just sort of walk away and get away scot-free and wash your hands of it, I don't know if it's going to be that easy. I think there will be some legal troubles there. There will be some legal dramas there if he does just slip out of it, just drop the IBF and go. I think there'll be a price to pay for that. I think legally he'll have an even bigger fight on his hands. That's my opinion of it, at least. So anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and until next time, this is MKO Pugilism, over and out. Catch you on the next one.